Recording.
Hey, hello. Welcome to your Fucked Up Relationship, the podcast. We're back, John.
Hey, we're back. The people were pining for us.
Yeah. We haven't released any material, but
People
we know
were-
they would have been.
Yes, everybody who's been on this show has been begging for it, and I keep saying, not yet. It's all about the edge, baby.
Yeah. We're very into edging. I'm Dylan.
I am John, but it's not just the two of us here today. We've got others.
We have Genean, and how did you pronounce that again?
Amanda.
That one's a hard one.
Wow, that's different.
That one's difficult. Yeah.
Name.
You did great.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us.
You're virtual
Yeah.
strangers to us.
We've never met.
Never met.
Mm-hmm.
But you have stories for us, as you know. Oh, you're asking about format of show? Not much of one. It's a show where you share your fucked up stories based off of our long form improv show called Your Fucked Up Relationship every Friday and Saturday night at Endgames here in the Mission District of San Francisco. And we decided, hey,
Pacific time, by the way.
Pacific time. Please don't show up in that mountain time bullshit.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna end up with the wrong show.
We're not in Phoenix.
They will. No, they won't end up at a show. They won't.
Yeah.
Because Anyways, so each of you have talked to me a little bit about a story that you'll share. You maybe a few, and then we have a guest that's gonna share their story. They sent us an audio clip. They happen to be next in this wall next on the other side of the wall next to us.
They're eating oatmeal next door.
They're eating oatmeal.
Still? I feel like they've been eating oatmeal.
Oh,
for-
he makes so much oatmeal.
Slow. Just a slow
Lots of
oatmeal
fiber.
eater.
Yeah.
Nice.
We do love you, Scott.
One oat at a time.
Yeah. How have you been? How's everybody?
I'm doing great. It's the weekend. We're recording this on a Sunday, and so tomorrow is work. But I'm traveling next week, so it should be fun.
Where are you going?
New York.
Ooh.
New York City, my first time as a person with a job and money, so it should be a
Ooh,
lot more
exciting.
interesting than
Lot
the
more
last couple
fun.
of times.
That's for work?
No, I'm just going for fun. I'm seeing my cousin who lives
That's
in
great.
Brooklyn.
I love that.
Yeah, and she's honestly, I have been using the phrase a bit of a Brooklyn supremacist. So I think when it comes to the other boroughs.
I also have a cousin in Brooklyn, so I feel like you should say hi to her while you're there as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where in Brooklyn do you live?
I don't know. In Brooklyn.
All right.
That's all I got.
Well, I'll say hi to everybody. Just
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cast a wide net.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
Are you a cousin? That's how I would
Yeah.
start.
Are you my cousin? Are you Janine's
you a
cousin?
cousin?
You know Janine?
Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Any travels for you? Oh, you're visiting.
Well, I'm traveling right now.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yay.
I
So
live in
fun.
Albuquerque, and I'm here in California for a couple of weeks, seeing my family, seeing my friends.
I met your mom this morning for the first time.
Yeah, on the street.
On the street.
Yeah.
She said you're hot.
Wow.
You're not joking, are you?
No.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She's like, Janine's boyfriend is so cute.
I am so into hot moms. That is totally a thing.
What'd she say
Whoops,
about me?
did I call her hot? Whoops.
Did she
Mom,
mention,
don't
did she
listen
mention
to
me?
this.
Yeah, she mentioned you,
Did
John.
she mention me?
Yeah,
What'd she say
she's
about
like,
me?
it sounds like I met this person who seems like they have a really hot friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
that
what I'm
was
talking
She
about.
did seem like flabbergasted when she saw me, though. Like you could see in her face, she was just like, she like started to fan
Oh,
herself.
God.
I think she was also surprised that you were so short.
I
Listen, you
purposely
won't get
made my
this-
camera match the height of John. I am definitely not John's height.
This only shows up on the vertical shot. I am much higher on the horizontal shot.
Damn it! We're doing this all wrong. Very cool. That's great. Thanks for outing.
Outing my mom.
I outed her.
I don't know how I'm gonna act around her next time I see her.
I get all nervous.
Yeah, I'm gonna be flustered and flirty.
Not
She
just
is
way to be.
single.
Is she really?
Whoa.
Hey, let's bring her in. We brought her here today.
Come on, Miss Amanda. Mrs. Mother.
Mrs. Were you about to say her last
Mrs.
name?
I
Amanda's
was.
mom.
It's so good. It's such a good last
Oh, it
name,
is?
but I can't
don't know
say
if I know
it.
your last.
It's the best last
We'll do it
name.
later.
Yeah.
In secret.
Yeah. Podcast after
Secret
dark.
best last name.
for the subscribers.
Yeah. That's for the
Patreon.
OnlyFans
Yeah.
edition.
Patreon subscribers.
Mhm,
Is this your first time in the Bay Area?
No, I grew up here.
Oh, wow. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's why I ran into Mom. She's visiting from Albuquerque,
Yes.
which is where
I
you
am.
currently live.
Grew up in Piedmont. Lived here most of my life. It's great.
You know more than us then.
Maybe a little bit.
Definitely, because we're all transplants here.
Not fully for me.
That's right. You grew up an hour north.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know San Francisco very well, though. I can't claim to know the city.
Well, this is the mission.
I know. I know
Where there
that.
are dudes with guitars outside of the grocery store you just went to.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen a dude walking around with a guitar and an amplifier with no busking purpose. This is not an area where you would busk normally.
Right. There wasn't a spot to put money either.
No, he was just out in front of the grocery store
So
next to the trash can without a bag in it.
Yeah, and I put my gum in there, but I specifically dropped it on top of another bag.
Good Samaritan.
I think I'm a good guy.
Mhm.
I
I
That's
think
Disagree.
that's the
Tell your mom.
key judge
Tell your
of a
mom.
good man.
key judge of a good
That's
man.
Yeah, I'll
the
pass it on.
test.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought.
minimize the work of sanitation workers everywhere. That's a
Mhm.
good guy.
You live in an area that I used to live in.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you were on the other side. I was on the north side of Nob Hill in
Oh,
Albuquerque, and you're on the south side.
There's
Yeah.
a Knob Hill here too.
I know.
I know.
And Albuquerque Nob Hill, they actually named it because of San Francisco's Nob Hill. They
I didn't
wanted
know
it
that.
to be like cool and fun
I thought
too.
they named it after me.
Can I ask a question which might be obvious, but I'm still a little perplexed by?
Huh.
What's a knob? What kind of knob are they referring
You're
to?
a knob.
This is a knob.
That's a
Like,
nub.
But isn't it like
nub?
if it's a doorknob, that's spelled with a K. These
Yeah.
knobs are certainly spelled with an N. The one in
Mhm.
San Francisco is.
Mhm.
at
Well,
least.
it's because
I
it's
think
silent,
a
John.
knob is
Silent
a
spelling and
bump.
silent pronounce.
a knob is like a bump.
Mm-hmm.
Like something
Like
could be
this.
knobby.
Mm-hmm.
So then, isn't it a bit redundant to call something a knob hill?
I think it is.
Because it's
but
already a hill. That's
it's
a
kind of like
bump.
hill.
Just call it a knob or a hill.
Los Angeles Angels.
The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
Redundant.
That's very redundant.
You can lose 2 or 3 of those names.
I think so. Yes, there's a Nob Hill there.
Mhm.
They added the art or the
Albuquerque Rapid Transit.
yeah.
Everyone
Probably
hates
also
it.
based off of Bay Area Rapid. Everybody hates it. I was there pre-art and during the building, and it's a point of
they
contention.
call their lines like different color of paint, like periwinkle
You know what it is? It's just
or
a bus.
cerulean.
It's no
just a
different.
bus.
It's just a bus that runs back and forth along Central, which is what it was before. But now they added all this extra stuff in
But
the
there's
middle.
like fancier bus stops in the middle and a bus lane.
yeah. It does feel cool to stand in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But the crosswalks are all messed up. Like you have to cross halfway and then walk like down the middle and then cross the rest of the half.
Yeah,
It's quite inconvenient.
it is. Do you drive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So it doesn't matter to you out there.
Our fans in Albuquerque are really going to love this episode.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
There's a lot
true.
of inside baseball on this.
Yeah. I was asking you like where you hang out, where all the cool spots are. Yeah.
What's your favorite Burger King in Albuquerque?
I actually haven't been to any Burger King in Albuquerque, so
Wow. I take it
but I
back
know
what
my
I said
favorite
about
Taco Bell.
our fans in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
They're not going to like this. They're big Burger King.
Yeah. We were almost sponsored. And by almost, I mean we dropped a business card on the table
Yeah.
at a Burger King that we went to.
We did a Venn diagram once of our Albuquerque fans and our
Burger King
fans.
fans.
It's a circle. It's a
Almost
perfect circle.
entirely
Yeah.
overlapping.
Mhm.
Crazy.
It's
Mhm.
wild.
That's very
Yeah.
impressive.
What was it like growing up in kind of the Bay?
I grew up in our north, so pretty rural and quiet. Not a lot going on.
A lot of apples.
A lot of apples. No,
Really?
they're all great.
Sonoma?
Sebastopol.
Oh, Sebastopol.
Yep.
You grew up on
Cozy
a
little
dirt
town.
road.
It is still a dirt road there.
It's still a dirt road.
Yep.
They've never paved it.
Wow.
No, the neighbors wouldn't let us. My parents wanted to pave it, and the neighbors said, no, thank
What do you mean your parents wanted to pave like the whole road?
Yeah, like all the neighbors would chip in to pave the road, but they like the dirt, I think, because it makes people go slower and also less people maybe go down the road.
Mm.
And you want less people. You like isolation.
I was a child when this was happening.
Yeah.
I had no say.
Well,
And
would
no
you
money.
would you raise a kid there?
No.
Asking for a friend,
What friend?
John.
Are you trying to raise children in Sebastopol?
I don't want to get into it on
Okay.
a
Yeah.
podcast. It's
Oh,
he's-
sorry.
a lot.
he's going-
a little too personal.
Yeah, he's been looking through the adoption papers. Yeah, it's been wild.
And
It's free-
it is a place to go if you want a family.
It's free labor having a bunch of children on the farm in Sebastopol.
That's how my dad
I mean, I'm
looks
getting
at
back
it.
into it now, but
Fair.
They can raise horses. They can
Mow your lawn.
They can mow your lawn, even
Yeah.
if it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Even a big old lawn. Speaking of lawns, you love them. It's kind of your whole thing.
Yeah, I'm actually in a master's degree just to create lawns.
Is that what people think when
Well, of course
when
you-
you tell them what you do?
What's
What's like a big misconception of what's the degree again?
landscape architecture?
Landscape architecture.
I mean, a lot of people are like, well, you're studying landscape architecture. Like, take a look at my backyard. Like, what do you think? Which is fair because there are landscape architects that do
maybe you could
residential.
help my backyard.
See, this
She
is
needs
what
it.
happens.
Let me ask you a follow-up ignorant question.
Mhm.
If you had to build a landscape for the world's most perfect Burger King, what would it look like? Would you have burger
God.
horticulture?
John, you can't ask this to every single guest. we have.
It's
is
my
getting ridiculous.
signature question. What kind of bushes do you want outside of this Burger King?
I mean,
Azaleas?
it would be fun to do like
Myrtles?
a topiary or something in the shape of a burger.
Yeah.
Like
Did
that
you say
would be.
topiary?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
what's
is
this
that?
word? What's this fancy ass French
topiary.
word?
It's like a bush that's in the shape of something.
Oh,
So like if you've
fun.
seen like it's usually like junipers or something, they're like outside of people's houses. They're usually like in sections that are like spheres or like a cube or something. But you know, like Edward Scissorhands,
Mm-hmm.
like he makes the bushes into
Yeah,
all different shapes.
Those are topiaries.
Yeah.
Do you
Mhm.
know him?
Yeah. He got an MLA at UNF.
Celebrities.
Yeah,
That's
he's
Celebrity
he's a
you.
famous alum.
Very fun.
That's great. I wrote a sketch once for Edward Scissorhands. It's not my idea, but Jonathan wrote a sketch, not this John, called Edward Fingerhands, and it's that he has fingers, and he's really confused about what to do about them. It's very funny.
Sounds so funny.
That's where I'm going with that one.
I have something that's equally unfunny, which is
God damn it.
do you remember Imgur? It's like a site that hosted images that was like
Kind
linked to
of,
Reddit
yeah.
for a
That's
while.
how you
Wow.
pronounce it?
I think so. I used to think it was Imager, but I think that's wrong.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
how
vowel.
I've been saying it.
There was for many years the most downvoted photo on there was somebody who did that thing where you have macaroni and you put it on your fork and on little prongs of your fork. We've all done that. Don't look at me like I'm an idiot. We've all done this. And somebody had commented Edward Macaroni Fork,
Nice.
and there were like 30,000 downvotes.
Downvotes.
Yeah, most downvoted thing
That's
maybe on the internet at the time.
That is so
That
funny.
is very
That's
funny.
comedic gold.
yeah. But it's comedic gold because it was downvoted, though. That's what
hated it.
makes
It's so
it
polarizing.
exciting.
Mm.
Yeah.
Sometimes the internet really does show up.
Just to hate something off of the internet.
Oh my gosh, I was telling you this the other day, like Mountain Dew or something. They did like a vote for their next. You know, they have like flavor blast flavors.
I think I've heard of this.
You know, they have like the blue one, and it's like what's the blue one called? Or what? Code Red. There's the red one. Probably like Mountain Freeze or something. Anyways, yeah, they did a basically a Reddit upvote downvote version of like a user generated name. Wow, I couldn't be more wordy to say this. But basically, everybody submit your ideas, and then the highest vote is what we're going to call the next edition of Mountain Dew. And I'm pretty sure. Do you remember it?
If it's the same one, there were a whole bunch of.
I'm pretty sure
There are a whole bunch of
the
them.
number one most voted, and Mountain Dew had to do this, was Adolf Hitler.
God.
They
No,
just-
if I remember correctly, it was Hitler did nothing wrong,
Oh
no.
my god.
which is so much worse.
That is worse. Damn it,
Yeah.
not just the name.
We will not be clipping
And then
this.
Mountain Dew had to take it down, obviously, because they're
Yeah.
like, whoops, we didn't.
Can't trust the people.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really can't. You really can't.
And it was just a bot attack. It's not like actually people are going and voting. It's just a bunch of people in 4chan, I think, got together and
And got-
made a bot.
Wow, you
to-
really ruined my dreams there.
I'm sorry. You know what? Like the second and like number 2 through number 10 were
Oh my gosh.
variations of the spelling of gushing granny.
What?
Yeah.
Gushing granny?
Gushing granny, gooshing granny,
Ooh.
gushing grannies.
Gooshing. Wait, you both had a visceral reaction to gooshing granny?
I mean, it's a visceral phrase.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
Yeah,
This is true.
very liquid.
It's like onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, your
Coming out.
mom's about to be a granny. Because her and I are about to have a kid. Wait, that wouldn't make her a granny.
That would just
Never mind.
make her a mom again. And that would make you my stepdad.
I forget how grannies work. And gooshing. Sponsored by V8.
Salty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You just told me this is way too much salt, and you are right. It is 40% of my daily
Wait,
intake.
what's the milligrams on that?
Ooh, you want to know?
Yeah.
Say it slower. 920 milligrams.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And that is per serving. And guess how many servings there are? 1.
Wow.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
V8's really going to want to sponsor us after your conversation about how salty it is.
Yeah, but it's
I
delicious.
mean, the salt makes it good.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I love these every once in a while. It's like a nice. I feel
A
health.
guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure for health.
It's like a Bloody Mary without all the fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
A gushing Mary.
Mm.
Okay, I'm on board with that.
I'm not.
Yeah.
All right,
I have
whatever.
questions.
Who wants to share the story first?
I think Genean should go first.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What's going on? What happened?
All right.
Tell us a fucked up
Can we
story.
interject and ask questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's not like a monologue.
But if you talk, somebody gets slapped.
Oh.
But it's random
Wow.
who gets slapped.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learning the show format as we go.
Uh-huh.
All right. A couple years ago, I was swiping around on Hinge, and there was this very attractive person, and we matched.
Thanks.
We started talking.
Uh-huh.
And things were going well. I was excited. We met up. The first date was very cute, but was feeling a little unsure. We had some mutual friends, which was always a good sign. I was like, this person seems trustworthy.
Mhm.
And the second date, I was a little unsure. He worked for an environmental nonprofit, but he also had like a very kind of sleazy tech side to him that made me feel unsure about the prospects. And our second date was at a drag show, and he
What
showed
was this person's
me
name so we can make fun of them later?
Eli.
We can have a fake name. Okay, Eli.
Yeah. Eli showed me a picture of him in drag, and that's what sealed the deal. After that, I was like, I'm in.
You knew.
You look great.
You knew.
I knew.
Okay, I know a thing or two about drag, but there are different kinds of drag queens. There are like
True.
queens that dance, comedy queens, campy
Yes.
queens. Did Eli fall into a particular category?
No, he wasn't a drag queen. He just had like worn a dress and taken lots of like elaborate photos that were very beautiful.
How was the makeup?
Which could just be cross-dressing, right? That's not necessarily drag.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
true.
Drag,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, necessitates almost a performance
That's
aspect.
fair. That's fair. Yeah,
yeah.
cross-dressing is what I should have said.
Sure.
And so we started to date casually. And we would chat. It was always very light conversation. As some people here know, I'm always a fan of the deeper conversations.
Uh-huh.
And he wasn't really giving me what I wanted in that area of our relationship.
Wasn't going deep.
Wasn't going deep enough.
Going shallow.
Yeah, a little too shallow.
Mhm.
One
Shallow
might
deep
say.
pizza.
Yeah.
Wait, shallow dish pizza.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Indeed. And one day we were hanging out before we went to bed. I had made an offhand comment, something along the lines of, "You're not a very vulnerable person," which to
Just
me,
cutting right to the core.
What is offhand in that? Yeah, I guess
I don't
it
know.
is.
We were just like
Yeah.
hanging out. I didn't think anything of it. I thought he knew. I thought this was just like the same as saying Amanda's hair is pretty blonde.
That's something a mean therapist would say. Like with no tact. Wow.
Well, it turns out it cut deep, and Eli continued to bring up this comment. The very next day, he brought it up, and I was like, "Wow, I'm really sorry. I didn't think that this was going to hurt you, but I was on my mind. I feel like we don't often have vulnerable conversations. You don't talk to me much about what's really going on in your mind." And I think we didn't see each other for about a week after that, and we ended up getting drinks at a bar, and he brought it up again. He was like, "I'm still thinking about that comment you made." And I was like, "Look, if you're a vulnerable person, show me. It's about time." I think we had been dating for about 3 months.
What were you expecting him to say?
I was really expecting, the classic like light childhood trauma, just like
Great.
I had a hard time.
Mhm.
And
Were you assuming this because of the cross-dressing?
No.
Maybe they had a great childhood.
That's true. I just feel like most people have light childhood
Oh,
trauma.
yeah.
It just seems
Mm.
like a general, we've
Yeah,
all been through
a little
something.
personal history.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Children
Exactly.
love complaining.
Yeah. What
There
happened
you
to you when you were a child that made you be the way you are today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Mhm,
going for. And he looks at me and he starts to shake. and he starts telling me this story about how he's been interlocked with this person at work, and they were like flirting, but he lives in the Bay and she lived in New York. So it was all like over Slack and Zoom that they were flirting. But now he thinks she's filed a sexual harassment complaint against him. I
Was
like,
she recording the Zooms?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Is it like a Zoom DM chat situation?
It was a lot of Slack messages. Apparently they had like, I think, decided that like nothing was going to happen, but there had been some like flirty exchanges.
But those are, I assume, archived in some capacity.
They must be. I mean,
If it's
Slack
through
doesn't
work.
go away.
Yeah.
You know, you can look at those messages. And he's like, you know, I think that she's really out to get me. And she like had, I think, some other people file sexual harassment complaints about me.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked.
You're like, that's not what I was expecting you to say.
Yeah, not at all. Wasn't expecting that one.
That is like now trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
current trauma. Apparently it had been going on for the last 3 months, about the time we had been dating. And he, you know, tells a very elaborate story. There's like many parts going on, and you know, I have some experience in labor, and I was like, do I give him advice on like how to advocate for himself, or is he like fucking something up? Like, I don't know what's going on here. And he really spun the story in a way that I started to feel bad for him. I was like, man, like it seems like something has gone wrong. It seems like he really did his best. You know, my interactions with him have been largely positive. And, you know, as he's telling me the story, he's like, tears are coming to his eyes. And I'm like, wow, turns out maybe he has some emotions deep down that we did not know about.
Now you're more into him.
You know, at this point, it was a little rocky. The sexual harassment complaints made me feel
I
a
forgot
little
about that.
less,
How did I forget about
sure.
that?
a little
John?
less
That's so weird. It's a weird thing to
excited.
forget. Did he show you the Slack messages?
No.
Did he?
No.
But he went into detail. Like, here's
He
what's
went
happening.
into detail, yeah, and like different people that were upset with him, and how there were like multiple sexual harassment complaints.
But it's just
against
hearsay
him.
from Eli, so you don't necessarily have like a unbiased picture, I guess.
I have no unbiased picture. I know that all of the people he's talking about, he's never actually interacted with in person. I know that there
Was
have
this pre or post COVID?
This was like 2021.
Okay.
So kind of during COVID. But also like a company that has, or an organization that has offices spread out. And he was like one of only a couple people in the Bay. And so we ended up continuing to talk, and I was like, do I leave? Like, what is the appropriate etiquette after someone has told you that they are experiencing claims of sexual harassment at their job?
Sorry, I'm not trying to harass
No,
you.
that's okay.
Just need to put this big thing in your
The mic
face.
closer to my mouth. And so
We are not insured, Dylan. We're not insured.
Damn it,
You
damn
can't
it.
be, you can't be doing that.
I'll harass you later.
right. I was gonna make a very off-color joke. I'll save that for later. But we ended up, you know, having an evening for the rest of the night talking about other things. He calmed down eventually from his outburst of emotion. And I knew that on Tuesday, I think that was on a weekend, on Tuesday, he was supposed to find out like the verdict of the investigation. And all Tuesday I was feeling pretty anxious, and I was like, oh, maybe I'm thinking about what's going on. And I texted him at the end of the day, and I was like, you know, what's the situation? And he was like, I'm going to go take some photographs, but I'll let you know in a bit. And I was like, oh, great. It seems like everything's fine. You know, I feel like if something, what'd you say?
Photographs?
He was just like taking, like a photographer would, just taking photos.
From behind a bush.
Yeah.
I don't trust
No,
that.
was this a typical hobby, like a stress relieving activity?
Yeah, I think he did take photos.
Blow off some
This wasn't like,
steam.
I'm going to take photos
Snap
of
some
myself.
pics.
No.
Or
Like-
or a stranger in the park.
Like
or-
your
No.
last story.
No, yeah,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
quite like that. No,
Okay.
no, I think he was just taking like portraits for someone or
Got it.
something like that. And a little background here is that he was about to go on a 10-day silent meditation retreat that had been planned for a while. And that was happening maybe like a day after we were, after Tuesday, something like this.
Which library did they have it in?
Which library? It's a 10-day silent meditation
Yeah, in the
retreat.
library.
In
I
the
assume, 'cause it's
library.
the quietest place.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. that
Also,
would've
you
been
can still
fun.
harass people even in silence.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This
Library
is
is like a frequent place of harassment.
For real?
Well, there are just a lot of people in the library.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
true.
And with a lot of people,
Comes a lot of harassment.
comes a lot of harassment.
Yeah.
Proceed.
So, so eventually he calls me later that night and proceeds to tell me that he was fired for sexual harassment. And I will say it was a little bit of an existential crisis on my end of
That puts you in a tough position.
Yeah, what did I miss? How did we get this far? And
Well, did you trust the system?
you know, it was interesting. I had many conversations with friends at that point, Amanda being one of them, of like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
Is this a situation where he really messed up? Is it a situation where he made a couple mistakes and, you know, what happened was justified? I would be inclined to believe that, but I don't know the details. I only ever heard his side of the story. I believe that the final sexual harassment was for, I wish I could find these messages, saying that he, I think, loved people. Like, I think on Zoom he would often be like, I love you.
That is actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
I love
love
you.
you. Bye. I love you. Bye, Mom. That's like it's your boss.
Your teacher, like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. There were a couple other things.
I said that to your mom earlier today,
You called my mom?
and I told her I love her.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so sweet.
Once again,
Meet
Dylan,
cute.
we're not insured for that. You
For
cannot be speaking on
moms?
behalf of the podcast.
It's
Be
not harassment. I don't
hitting
think.
on the moms
I don't
out
know.
there.
Yeah.
We have to hear the end of this story to determine.
That's right.
that.
Okay.
Oh no, this might be. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, it really was like calling all my friends being like, am I a terrible person? I just dated someone for 3 months who was just fired for sexual harassment. And, you know, got varying verdicts as we talked about what had happened, and what the situation was. I also had realized that while we were dating, because it was COVID, I'd never really seen him interact with other people. And I think some of it is that he's a very flirty person, which when you meet someone in the context of a dating app makes sense, right? You're meeting and you're flirting because that's what you're there to do. But I think he was doing this with everyone all the time, regardless of whether they were meeting in the context of a dating app, which could make people very uncomfortable. And he did go on the 10-day silent meditation retreat a day after being fired, which was mind-blowing to me. I think if I had been fired for sexual harassment, I would have spent the next 10 days under my bed in a ball.
Probably already paid a deposit.
I think it's free. You just have to apply.
Oh, wow.
There's a big application process.
There's no
Maybe
way.
he was ready for a lot of introspection. Maybe.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he did so much. I will say he got 3 months severance and ended
Okay.
up in South America traveling for 3 months,
Ooh.
which was
Silent?
a little... No, that was after the meditation.
that one was
retreat.
all talk.
Well, I don't know.
That sounds
Sometimes
like a reward for bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, I'm here working. I didn't get fired for sexual harassment, and I'm not traveling around South America, which was a sad time for me. I will say, I was a little jealous of the outcome he got.
So did you break it off then?
Yeah, I mean, he was leaving, so it was pretty clearly that we weren't going to see each other again. He did text me when he got back and asked if I wanted to hang out, and I told him I was all right.
But was there no final conversation other than it just petered out? There wasn't like, this is over because you sexually harassed someone at work by
didn't
being
say
too
that.
intimate on Zoom.
Yeah.
You
Keep
know-
telling randos you love them.
Yeah.
Well, because if you don't tell
think
him
there
that,
was.
how does he know he did anything wrong?
Maybe
Other than getting
Maybe
fired.
getting fired.
Well,
would-
I mean, he
would help.
kind of got rewarded for that in a way.
I know. Yeah, I will say he comes from a group of people in this organization who are known for being a little sleazy. If I can go on a quick tangent.
Please.
Absolutely.
There's another man, they were friends. And this man is a life coach.
Oh, no.
Like
Yeah.
a motivational
Like an
speaker?
MLM kind of life coach?
Yeah.
What's
well,
MLM?
Multi-level marketing.
no,
Oh.
he's a life coach for leftist advocates, which is,
Oh,
if
boy.
you know anything about activism, a little bit crazy. He has, not much experience. He's pretty young. And Eli and this man were friends. I believe I went on dates with them around the same time. And my first date with this second man, we'll call him Dave, was fine. It was not very good, but at the time my friends had told me I was too picky and I was feeling self-conscious. And so I said, well, I guess I'll go on another date with Dave.
Wait, I'm confused. You were picky?
Yeah, they were like, Genean, you're too picky. You only go on one date
Oh.
with people and then you never talk to them again. And I was like, yeah, they all suck. So I felt,
You're right, though.
yeah,
you gotta
they
trust your
do.
instincts.
Yeah. So
So he's
I
like,
mean,
how old is he giving people life coach advice as a leftist advocate?
like late 20s, mid 20s, mid to late
Man,
20s.
you gotta be Bernie Sanders to be doing
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be really successful at leftist
yeah.
advocism. Advocism? Advocacy.
I like
Advocacy.
advocism.
Yeah, so he comes over to my house for a second date, which I was a little nervous about.
This story.
But I was like, sometimes I'm feeling tired. I don't want to do a big elaborate date. I just kind of want to watch TV with someone, maybe get a little cuddle. That sounds very sweet. And he comes in, tells me he's very tired. At this time, I lived in a very little studio apartment, and so my kitchen and bedroom were the same. And he like weasels me onto the bed very quickly. I was pretty aware of what was happening, but it was in a way where I was like, all right, whatever. Now we're on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started making out with me. And I very quickly said, this is about as far as we're going here. And at that point, he got up and he left. And on his way out, he dropped a condom. Pretty clear, I think, his intentions from the get-go. He was at my apartment for about 40 minutes total. And as he dropped the condom, I picked it up and gave it to him and said, you dropped this.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What kind of condom was it? Because there is a trope from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Danny DeVito's character, in order to woo women, he drops a giant condom and he's like, oh, it's my magnum condom for my huge dong. Do you think it was that kind of move?
No. It was a regular condom.
Did he like fumble it like a clown? Like,
No,
and then it went, whoops. You said whoops? Yeah.
No, he was pretty embarrassed. But speaking of condoms, Amanda and I actually had a ribbed condom on our dorm room
I think
door.
it was studded.
Oh, oops, my bad.
Studded?
Studded
Yeah.
condom on our dorm room door. For
Okay, what's the difference between a
half
studded
year.
and a ribbed?
Well-
One has spikes, one has rings.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would say it's the difference between chickenpox and ringworm.
Okay,
One's
I get it. I
One's
get it.
bumpy and one has little spirals on it.
Okay, yeah. What were they again? Ribbed and
Studded.
studded. So studded has bumps coming off of it,
Yes.
and ribbed is it's
Ridges.
it's got forms and ridges
Yes.
on
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha. So you had a studded one where?
Taped to the outside of our dorm room door for a whole semester.
Yeah.
Almost a whole year.
Whole semester.
I think we got it like at some sort of free sexual health event, and I
Yeah.
don't know why we taped it to our door, but we did,
we did indeed.
and it was there
It
just
was
in
there.
case of emergencies.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah. Somebody would wait. Was it open? In my head, it's open.
No.
No.
Oh.
Ew.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I'm the gross one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the disgusting one.
Disgusting.
Very gross.
This seems like something that ancient people would do to ward off an evil spirit.
Yeah. It's like.
They're like a fertility thing to their
Yeah.
door.
Yes.
I
yes.
agree.
That was we did at the time live in a dorm that had two separate rooms. We had our beds in one room and studying in the other.
And it was across the hallway,
Across the
but they were
hallway.
both our rooms.
Is
But
this the
the-
booty?
no.
As
it's
this
so-
was the thorax.
The thorax.
Yeah, we named the kind of like
You were taking
extra
biology class.
room. We named the extra room the thorax.
Okay.
And that was the sex room.
It was.
What?
Mhm.
So,
I'm gonna need some elaboration on that one.
well, our beds were in one room, so we weren't having sex with the other person in the room. So when we
Mm-mm.
were having sex, it was in the thorax, the other room with the condom taped to the door.
Why not just have two separate rooms?
Because
Well,
we
the-
love each other.
Well, also this is how it was. Yes.
Just seemed ludicrous.
That I'm pretty sure is harassment from what I've just learned.
Yeah.
No, we. I love
James
you.
Improv is not liable for this, for what our guests
Oh, you
do
didn't
to
say
each
it over
other.
Slack, so that's different. Yeah.
No, that was like how it was set up in the room. Also, when we just got it, there was like the big room had the two beds and like dressers and like stuff like that, and then the other room was like small and weirdly shaped.
It was
Two
a U
two
shape
desks
with a slanted
It could not have
ceiling.
fit a bed.
Did
Really,
this used to be some kind of factory? Why would they build it
It
like
actually
that?
used to be a frat house. So it was probably some weird frat room. I don't
Yeah.
know. For whatever poor soul is getting hazed or
Yeah,
something.
we gotta
I don't
go
know.
to the U room.
Yeah. Well, it's for sex clearly, and you guys just kept up the tradition of the sex room.
Yeah.
So you would like when you brought home somebody, you're like if you're going to that room, everybody knows what's going on.
Well,
It was
at
like
the
And there's no
time-
bed in there.
no.
we brought a. Well, at the time, I was in a long distance relationship.
Yeah, so it's like it was more for when Janine's long distance boyfriend came to visit. They would set up their like air mattress
It was
in the extra room.
Yeah, what's it called? Like when people visit prison.
Oh, like a
A conjugal visit.
Yes,
it was a
conjugal
conjugal visit room.
In a conjugal trailer.
Oh, and what happens if you go in there alone?
you to study and do homework because
Yeah,
that's where
it
our
was just-
desks were.
It was either very exciting or very boring in there.
Yeah, we did have some parties in there.
Oh yeah, we kind of did.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
just sounds like a frat house.
Yeah,
You made your own
that's what I'm
frat
saying.
house.
It didn't change
We
when
actually
they got.
were
There's
to-
also etiquette for this. Aren't you supposed to put like a tie on the door or something? I don't know. I went to a
Sock.
school where you weren't allowed to have sex.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
It was in the rules.
Yeah, it was in the rules. I had to sign a paper.
What
for
school is it?
real?
No, it's like a little Christian school.
Oof.
High school?
No, college.
College? Wow.
I didn't know you went to
Oh
a
my
Christian
goodness.
college.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. But anyways, Dave and Eli came from a very sleazy group. They were known, specifically Dave is known to be extremely cuddly, to change nude in parking lots very visibly where people don't want him to
Oh.
play ukulele naked. And
I feel like I missed something. What?
just
This is something
some
he would just do
fun
on
facts
his.
about Dave.
on his
Yeah.
off
Dave, the guy
time.
who drops condoms everywhere, and
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
no, I dropped my
Mhm,
condom."
He also emailed a listserv with like over 5,000 people asking for a copy of Polysecure.
Wait. What was the listserv?
It's the Shtetl listserv, which is the Jewish listserv in the Bay Area.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was this thing he was asking for?
A book about polyamory and like
Yeah.
Yeah, real big in the Jewish community. This is also where you got your amoeba from.
My SCOBY.
Your
That's true. I got a
SCOBY.
SCOBY.
What did
you
from
just
Kombucha.
call it? Amoeba?
An amoeba.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is an amoeba? It's a living organism, maybe single
An
cell.
amoeba?
Amoeba?
An amoeba.
Yeah, I think you're
Not
saying
an
amoeba.
amoeba.
I was like, is
It's not
amoeba a
omega.
different thing?
I like the way I say it. I'm tired of all your bullshit. I'm leaving. So wait, he would just play ukulele naked?
Yep.
In
Eli
where?
would tell me
Where?
about that. Eli also wasn't the biggest fan of Dave.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Even though they were friends.
They were friends,
Okay.
yeah, same
Mm.
circles, but yeah.
What an interesting and yet toxic friend group.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't sound great.
You were real close to that circle.
I was adjacent.
You were Jason. You started the listserv.
Yeah, I actually started the whole naked ukulele thing.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
my shtick.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how people know me.
Indeed.
It's your stickle.
Wow. Shtickle. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very
absolutely.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's wow. That's like a
Sorry.
twofer. That was a bunch of stories in one.
Yeah.
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 Nailed it.
Many more where that came from.
All right, what's going on in the world of landscaping? Lots of fucking. What's good?
Amanda gets all the people.
Oh, thank
Is
you.
it a very sexual program? No.
I mean, there's
really
a lot of
not.
places to hide. It seems like you make
Yeah, you could.
caves and bushes and grottos.
Yeah, I mean, like you
think
could
he's behind-
design
yeah.
like a sex forest or something.
Ooh.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
That might have to be private though.
I
wish
feel like
So
There are
what it
less-
sounds like is it's a very non-sexual group of people.
pretty non-sexual. Though my roommate actually gave me this little sticker, like bumper sticker that says make the golf course a public sex forest.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like
You
it.
said sex forest twice. What is a sex forest?
Well, yeah, it's from that sticker that I actually got that.
Oh, okay.
I think it's kind of like, I don't know how many sex forests actually exist,
there are a
but
bunch.
it's kind of like
A whole bunch. There are a lot.
I imagine like it's kind of like for cruising, or if you want to just go fuck in a
I was gonna
forest or
say,
a park.
can any forest be a sex forest if you have sex in that forest?
Have you ever heard
Sure.
of Buena Vista Park in San Francisco? That is a sex
Yeah.
forest.
If-
There are people cruising in there. There are lots of places in Marin that
Oh, huh.
like gay men will go and just have sex parties in the woods.
John, have you been in a sex?
No, well, I mean, I've been to Buena Vista, but not to cruise, just to hike.
Mm.
I would love
It's
to
nice up
if there
there.
was like a lesbian sex forest. That would be cool too.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It
I don't
sounds
know
like
if
a
I've
lot of
heard-
people's dreams. Yeah.
Yeah, make the golf course into a lesbian sex force.
I've definitely had
Lesbian
that
sex
dream
force.
before. I'm pretty
That
sure.
should be my thesis for next year.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you are looking for a
Lesbian-
topic.
I am looking for topics.
Honestly,
Lesbian
that
sex
would kill
force.
at like Mango.
It would.
Have lesbian sex force.
All right, what's your fucked up relationship, Amanda?
So this predates my interest in landscape architecture, so
Okay.
it might not be as sexy.
Sure.
Sorry.
It was before you were cool.
Yeah. This was
Amanda's
my.
always been cool.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why I said that.
I try. This was my like big college relationship, which is funny because we technically only dated for 1 semester, so like 3 months. But emotionally, it felt like forever. In like dog years, it was like a lifetime.
In dog years, it was 9 months. So still not very long.
No, actually. So we'll call this person Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
I'd say the first, like the time that we actually dated was like not super dramatic. We like met at a party.
There was a big like, will they, won't they
Was there?
phase in the beginning where you were like, is she a lesbian? Does she like me? Do you
Yeah.
remember the drawing date?
Yeah, our first date we like drew outside on the grass for a while, and like I drew a basketball hoop because
That's
it was
so
there.
hot.
Because it was there, and she
Oh my
she
God.
drew a picture of me, and I was like, look at my basketball. So I was off to a great start.
What year of college was this?
Junior
year.
year, first semester.
So you're not an ingenue in college. You know people. You have like friends. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I'm an upperclassman. She was a sophomore.
Yeah.
I know.
Scandalous.
Robbing the cradle. So yeah, we met at a party. We like friended each other on Facebook, went on a drawing
Ooh.
date. I don't even remember like our first kiss or anything. Like those early details I don't really remember. But we never really said that we were dating or like even actually, I mean, we drew together, but we never really like went on a date to like a cafe or a restaurant or anything. It was kind of just like after we first like established that it was romantic, like we just, I guess, were dating, but like never talked about anything. We were young, you know.
Sure, yeah.
But like I fell in love like so fast. Like that's kind of one of my things, you know.
One of our roommates whose room was next to Amanda's would come up the stairs to the living room very angrily and go, Amanda and Sarah have been giggling for 2 hours and I am done.
Was there lots of giggling?
I don't giggle and tell. But there may have been some giggling. Yeah, was that who was right next to me? And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it was very
Thin
cute.
walls.
It was very wholesome. Like, it wasn't the first time I dated a girl, but like more like prolonged. And
Was
I
it
don't know.
physical at all? Was there a
Yes.
physical? Okay.
Yes.
all
What
right.
do you
Yeah,
think giggling
Yeah,
is?
what do you think they were doing while they were giggling?
Oh, you meant fingering. Oh.
that's the code.
Yeah, they're not just constantly drawing sports things.
Yeah, that's actually
Look, you're
first
different.
base.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lesbians is drawing different sports
Yeah, yeah.
equipment.
Look at
Look
my
at-
hockey goal.
Yeah, fuck, I was gonna say that.
Anyway, yeah, so we were dating. We like were sleeping together and like hanging out a lot, but like we mostly hang out like in private, like at home or like in my room. Like we weren't like going out and about that much.
Sure.
So then I was going abroad the next semester. So we kind of had this in the long-term future. We're like kind of approaching this kind of turning point in the relationship.
Where were you going abroad? Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh my God. I went to Madagascar.
Whoa. That sounds
Yeah, it was amazing. And that's a whole different story. Oh my God. I could have told that relationship
Still
story.
can. You can make it quick.
What relationship story?
You got
The-
like
The girl I
Drill it.
dated.
You know what I was thinking of though that's fucked up is the I think there should be a really quick segue
Mhm.
on how Amanda came back from Madagascar and had this long-term crush living in the Bay who she met at a plant shop.
Oh.
And Amanda brought back a seed from Madagascar, which
I brought.
you're
so
not
funny you bring
supposed
this-
to do.
You're not supposed to bring like any
Ah.
agricultural products into California specifically, but you're not.
How did
supposed
you
to-
smuggle it?
I-
Where
it
did
was
you
just-
put it
it
in
was-
your body?
That's not how this story goes.
Okay.
No, I had it like in a little gift box, just like buried in my luggage. I just didn't declare it.
Mm.
I was like a few seeds
Uh-oh.
from this fruit that I really liked, and this crush / friend I had at the time, he was like very into plants. So I was like, I'll bring him back some seeds of this cool fruit. And then like months later, he was like, yeah, those seeds like sprouted all these beetles, and then they like all crawled out of the box. And, like,
Amanda comes up into my room and she's like, Genean, I've done a bad thing.
it's like that's why you're not supposed to like I introduced some sort of biological contaminant into California. Hopefully they all died. But anyway,
That's
so
great.
that was one story of me
I don't
going
think
abroad.
we can post that. It might be a criminal thing.
You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know my last name.
That's
So
true. We
true.
don't.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, okay, I was abroad. Should I do the other
Yes.
abroad story?
Yeah.
Okay, so I also had this very short and probably my most toxic relationship when I was studying abroad with this girl who was also on my program. She was really into me and was very more aggressive about pursuing stuff, and like you knew it was a bad sign. Red flags are going to be a theme of my story, by the way. You knew it was a bad sign with this relationship when the first time we like hooked up was like behind a tree at a party. We were both drunk, and like then she was like crying like while we were hooking up. And, like it was, the emotions were just very heightened.
It sounds like the worst fuck forest.
Yeah.
Everybody's crying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it's a different hemisphere. People have different reactions to it.
They do. And it was also like, I don't know, she was so like unafraid of like doing stuff in public, and I was like, it's not like that chill to be gay here. Like let's chill on that.
Oh.
But yeah, she was just really intense, and like we fought, and I like don't really fight in my relationships, and like then to kind of end things, the program was like ending, so I was like, thank God, like has a natural end.
Oh, good. Yeah.
And so I was like, are we going to be in contact? Like that sounds also intense. So I was like, let's be pen pals. Like, let's write each other letters to kind of de-escalate the
Oh,
relationship.
good call.
Anyway, yeah.
I
so
always
that was-
go. I don't ghost people. I Morse code people.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's
yeah.
how you know.
Be like, you
it's
have to
over.
learn Morse code if
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
stay in contact.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I was off having my fun in Madagascar that was also very emotionally intense.
Yeah.
But you know, that's gay girls for you. We're very emotionally intense. Anyway, so me and Sarah.
Whoops.
Me and Sarah were dating, and then I was like kind of in love and like would have done long distance if she wanted to, but she was like, I don't want to do long distance. Like I'm like we're gonna break up at the end of the semester. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I'm not gonna push it.
Wasn't there also like kind of a pinpoint in this relationship where Sarah wouldn't tell her family that she was dating a woman and or about you?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, like yeah, I don't think she ever told her family about us dating, or I met her family like in Portland, like the day we like last saw each other, the last day of our relationship.
Whoa.
And it was kind of just like, hey, this is Amanda. Like,
We,
I don't know.
we giggle a lot upstairs. Yeah.
No, I didn't stay over at the house. Yeah, so like it was her first like gay relationship, and like I think didn't really like fully come to terms with that or like bring it officially into her life, and it was short anyway, so then she just like, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like that out there, I guess. So we decided to break up. Like it was very sad. I was very heartbroken because it was like so early on. I like wanted to keep dating, and like I also had this idea. I was like, okay, we're breaking up because I'm going abroad, but like maybe when I get back, like we'll date again. Like I was like, it feels open-ended. Yeah, so I like she drove me to the airport. We had this dramatic goodbye, like gave each other gifts and like letters and stuff. And then I was like, okay, now I gotta go get ready to go abroad. Like very heartbroken.
Aw.
And you went straight into the arms of a lunatic in Madagascar.
Exactly.
Rebound.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's,
Perfect
that's
way
the
to
title
get
of
out.
that chapter. Yeah.
So still kind of with the hope that we might get together in the future. I go abroad, still sad, you know. We're still kind of talking, and then at one point when I was abroad, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be back for like the end of the semester back on our shared campus, and
Is it Pacific time?
that's Pacific time. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I
Which
just
was
I need to be caught up in
maybe
this story.
12 hours different than my time.
Okay.
And she was like, yeah, I'd love to see you, but like this is just gonna be as friends. And I was like, okay, second heartbreak. I was
Yeah.
like devastated
Especially
again.
when you
Yeah.
used to giggle together. It's
I
hard.
know. I was like, you don't want to giggle again?
Yeah.
Like, we're great at giggling
We're so
together.
good at it. Yeah.
It's nice that I feel like there's a nice part of that about it where they're at least clear about it.
Yeah.
Right? They're not like
Yeah.
leading you along,
Mhm,
which
mhm.
I guess is one of those
Well,
things you are more thankful for later
At this
on.
point.
Yeah,
At
yeah,
this
right.
point,
When it's happening,
you'll
it
see,
sucks.
you'll see what transpires later. So
Ooh. So excited.
I know. I'm trying to set little Easter eggs in there. Yeah, so I was like, okay, heartbroken again, finish my semester, have my crazy relationship in Madagascar, come back. I think I did see her on campus, and then she went home for the summer, and I stayed in Walla Walla for the summer. So we were still like just operating as if we're just like friends.
Mhm.
I started dating like another person kind of casually over the summer. I was like, this is great. This other person was super sweet. She was like, she took me on dates in public. I was like, oh my God. Oh, okay. I also remembered, sorry, this is not linear. At the end of me and Sarah's semester of dating, we like went on our first date, like, which was actually like our last date of our relationship, but we like went out to breakfast together, and it was like our first time on a date, like in public, was like our
Whoa.
last date.
Oh my
Damn.
gosh.
I know.
It's rough.
It was intense. Okay, so then I'm going on dates with this other amazing woman. Like, we're having a good time. We're like, I don't know, it's casual. I'm like, we haven't become exclusive or whatever. And like, I'm also on the apps. I'm like having a little fun and flirty summer. Clara comes.
Sarah.
I can't with this alias.
Agnes. We've been saying Agnes the whole time, haven't we?
If you're listening, I'm sorry. Comes back for the semester because school's about to start, and I'm like, okay, maybe we'll like be friends. We like start hanging out again. It's kind of flirty, like there's some giggling,
Uh-oh.
not in the sexual.
You mean an
way.
actual giggle?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
I feel like
was
we need a
happening.
different word for that.
Yeah.
What I said was true.
Oh, let's call it
the
fingering.
roommate would say giggling.
When we're
Giggling is
laughing.
fingering, and fingering is giggling.
Gingling.
I
No.
think there was a lot of giggling going on regardless of what was happening between you two.
In what sense? Of the
Like
word
in the
giggling?
air? She's saying they weren't physical the second time around.
Right. But I'm saying that Amanda and Sarah giggled a lot when they were physical and when they weren't physical.
Yeah,
There was
Yeah.
just lots of giggling.
we got
Oh,
along,
there were-
you could
there
say.
was giggling.
Mhm, mhm.
So we were like trying to hang out as friends, but like I still had big feelings for her. I was like, even though she had like rejected me like twice at this point, I was like, I like maybe still it could happen. Or like,
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
know. Like when we saw each other, it just felt like I wanted to still date her. So she came back, we were like hanging out a little bit, and then it started to be like we're hanging out, and I was like, it feels like maybe something is happening here. I like told the person I was seeing, I was like, yeah, my ex is back in town and we've been like hanging out. So she kind of got the idea that something might happen. And so we keep hanging out, and we're like, we also are talking about our relationship. We're like kind of processing things, and then we're hanging out and talking, and we're like in my bed. And like
Oh my God.
Mhm.
we're kind of close, and
And
it's
somebody drops their huge condom on the ground.
like
Yeah.
exactly.
Oops, I dropped my
My
condom.
magnum. And we're kind of close. It's like, it's kind of a will they, won't they? And
Yeah.
then I was like, we should probably like leave or whatever. And then she's like, would you be really satisfied if I left and we like didn't like kiss or anything? And I was like, no. And then we're like, well, you know.
Yeah.
And we made out again, and I was like, this is the best moment of my life.
Oh my
Not best moment
gosh.
of my life, but I had been waiting for like, it had been like 9 months since we had last dated. Like,
That's like 3 months in dog years.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
like
long.
the dog's half-life.
Mm-hmm.
Dog's life or something.
Half life. Yeah, so I was like, this is amazing. We're gonna date again. Like, this is what I wanted the whole time. But
Wait, but there was a decision-making point here where you had to decide between the very sweet person.
yes.
Are you gonna get to that? Or did you
Yeah.
already
Oh,
pass
thank you
that?
for thank
Okay.
you for telling me.
Because this was a big moment
Yeah,
where
'cause
Amanda and I were.
I was stressed out about the other relationship I had, even though it wasn't like explicitly we were like exclusively dating or anything. Like, I was like, this sucks. Like, I have these super strong feelings for this other person, and I feel like that's gonna trump it if it comes up. And it did. So then I had to, like, the day after, like, me and Sarah like made out again, I like went and broke up with this other person,
Mhm.
and that
it
was
was
really
a long,
hard.
drawn out decision.
Who,
Yeah.
to remind the audience at home, that was a lovely person you really liked.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a lovely person I really liked. It was very early in the relationship, but like it was very
Yeah.
sweet. But
You really didn't know what to do. You were
Yeah.
like, do I stay with this person? Do I go
Yeah.
back to Sarah? Sarah's this like
Kind of-
exciting, crazy,
But
lusty, but there's this really sweet person also.
No talk of a relationship with Sarah at all. You're just
We
like,
had really
you want to
talk-
make out on the bed?
yeah, like
would you be satisfied if I we
at
just
my-
ended this podcast without making out first?
Look at my baseball glove I drew you. So
I've been working on
leathery.
so many of these while you've been away. Yeah, so I broke up with a lovely other person
Yeah.
and was like, I'm doing this with Sarah.
Yeah.
Even though me and Sarah hadn't really said that we're gonna date, but we were like gonna like try the idea was that we were gonna try dating again, you know?
Okay. So that was in the cards.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean I thought like we had kind of discussed like, yeah. Well, I don't
I
know.
don't
We
believe-
probably didn't talk about it very well.
Yeah.
Sound like it.
No.
There's a
We were
real
just
lack of
acting on
communication
pure
Yeah.
in this relationship.
And then like it was like that was it during the week, and then the weekend comes, we like go to a party, me and Sarah go to a party, like we're having fun. I like spend the night at her house. I was like, this is so great, like this is what I've wanted, like love this.
Amanda's on cloud 9.
On cloud
Amanda is
9.
like so happy.
Yeah, because I'm like, I get this girl again. Like, this is great. And we had planned to see a movie later that weekend. I forget what movie it was. That movie used to be like triggering to me.
Oh no, not Kung Fu Panda 2. No.
Please let it be a stupid
Not
movie.
Madagascar. Yeah. Also triggering.
Madagascar makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't all of this happen around Halloween?
Yes.
My memory is like Halloween parties.
It was
Extra
like
spooky.
it was just before Halloween. It was October because
Okay.
The Exorcism of
the-
Emily Rose. That's pretty old.
Yeah.
No.
We had been to a fall party, and then I spent the night at her house.
Oh, it was after. Was it the sexy fall
It
party?
was sexy fall party. Yeah,
Great photos.
we
from
just
Sexy
had
Fall.
like lingerie, which we taped dried leaves to. It was
That
great.
It was fun.
Have I seen these pictures?
Yeah.
It's risky. There could be bugs and dried leaves.
I know. We were just a little edgy in college. So, yeah.
Someone was edging you into a relationship.
Ooh.
So I thought,
Oh.
dun dun dun, this is the big crux. So we were gonna do this movie, and then I was like trying to plan this movie with her, and she was like, oh, like being a little wishy-washy about the movie thing, and I started to get a bad feeling about it. And then like the next day she was like, we should hang out. And then we had this conversation where she was like, I can't do this, like I'm out, like it's gonna be too intense for me or whatever, like I'm afraid of having like these big feelings or whatever, like we're starting at such an escalated point. She was just afraid to like
Mhm.
continue dating, and for whatever reasons, like I get it. It's probably actually better that we didn't date, but like date again. But I was like devastated.
Oh.
I was
'Cause now
so heartbroken.
Amanda lost 2 relationships.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
I
process.
know. That's pretty bad.
I
Yeah.
It's a
know.
rough time.
And
It
it's
was
not
rough.
really your fault.
I know. I
And
was
you haven't
misled.
recovered since.
Misled.
I know. I'm still heartbroken. No, we're good. We've like
Oh, you're still friends?
not friends, but like yeah, later she actually moved to the Bay Area when I was living here. And then we like kind of reconnected, and we had a talk where she apologized, and then like another talk a few months later where she apologized again. Like she felt really bad about it because it was a pretty shitty thing to be like, let's try it, and then be like, just kidding. Like now that we've already like indulged in the relationship a little bit. So yeah, that was like my big heartbreak of
I will
college.
say, while Amanda was rebounding in Madagascar, Clara was rebounding.
Oh yeah, there was like, looking back, there's a lot of like red flags about this relationship. Yeah, she had dated this really douchey guy in like after we dated when I was abroad, who had done some shitty things in the past.
He was he went too far after being told no.
Yes.
Is this the same guy you started to date?
We did not start to date, but he did not do nice things to me.
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah.
And then
Oh my gosh.
and then this person Sarah dated.
And then Sarah rebounded with that guy.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot to maybe bring some lightness to the situation. What's your favorite Burger King in Madagascar? Was it Antananarivo or one
John,
of the coastal cities?
Here's the weird part. I then met Sarah in grad school
Yeah.
In Albuquerque.
here.
Yeah, small world.
And I was like, that girl's cute.
Oh,
I didn't no clue who these people were. These people were not in my life yet.
Well,
Amanda and
Dylan,
Genean were not
you've got
my
a
life.
type.
I know.
Dodged a bullet.
And I was like, this girl's cute. Never like, nothing. I don't even know if we had talked before I went to a bar and we giggled. No, I'm just kidding. But I went to a bar to meet up with my other friend who was also in the grad program. And Sarah just happened to be at the bar, was not there to meet up with us, but my friend was friends with Sarah.
Mutual friends, yeah.
Yeah, it was a mutual friend. And then, so I happened to sit next to Sarah, and I didn't say anything. I was like, I don't know if she'd, and then we both like, yeah, we're in the same grad program. We started talking, and then our friend showed up, and we all just kind of hung out together. But that's very funny because, I mean, I could have lived a long, lovely life with her.
Yeah,
and
you could have.
You didn't.
I know.
Wow.
It's crazy.
R.I.P.
But for the mechanizing of the gods.
Sarah's just leaving everyone heartbroken.
It's
in her
true.
path.
I know.
Yeah. Let's get her in here. Interrogate her.
Yeah. No.
Why are you so mean to everybody? Make up your mind.
No, there's no bad blood anymore. Like it's all in the past,
It's good.
We've talked it through. Janine probably still has.
I harbor deep grudges against people that have wronged Amanda long after.
All my
Amanda
friends
lets
like
them go.
hold the deep grudges that I have let go of myself, so they can have that rage for me. Yep.
Yeah.
Just
now that
like-
I'm beginning to know you, I resent even ever liking her.
Wow. Thank you.
I'll
Thank
never
you.
like her again. I promise you that.
No, she deserves a chance.
Okay. All
No,
right. Well,
no,
all right,
not,
well, I
not on
changed
this
my mind.
podcast, not on our podcast.
Okay,
We
yeah.
get to
destroy
decide
her.
who gets a
Destroy
chance,
her.
and it's not her. All right, world. Make it work. Make it happen.
Thank you for
Sarah's
that
life.
story.
Yes.
We have one more.
We're at an hour right now.
We have no time for this story.
We don't have time. So
Should
may
we
have to
save
save
this
it.
story?
We will save the story.
Okay. I'm fine with saving
Wow.
it.
Well,
So much content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great. Thank you for the Madagascar and the, what do we call that one?
Condom?
And the condom and
Naked
the
ukulele. There's a lot there.
There's a lot
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
With both
Lots
of you.
to unpack.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
indeed.
But we don't have time to keep unpacking it.
We can do it after the podcast.
Yeah,
We don't
stop
have
recording.
not everything in life has to be recorded.
Really?
No, actually, for me, yes. mostly.
Well,
I was
things
gonna
getting
say.
recorded. That's why that guy got fired, because those recorded Slack
that's
messages.
true.
Yeah.
I guess the lesson I'll take from today is don't say embarrassing things on a Zoom call.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
a
love
good
you.
lesson.
I love you,
I
audience.
love you.
I'm
We
in
love
with
you.
Bye, Mom.
We'll see you next time. This has been your Fucked Up Relationship, the podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody, and thank you to our
see ya.
guests.
Thank you,
Bye.
Amanda. Thank you,
Amanda,
Janine.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
Always.
It's been a
See you next
pleasure.
time.
Bye.
Bye, audience.